Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sally, joined by my co-host, Katie. We're identical twin sisters. We invite you to join us as we investigate our similarities and differences in all things life has to offer. Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sally.
And I'm your other host, Katie.
Okay, so we're almost through eclipse season. We had the big eclipse yesterday. We are recording this on a Tuesday, and we hope everybody's having a very good Tuesday or week. Monday. This will come out on Monday. So having a very good week. We're going to start our podcast with how we always start it, going over some of our comments and feedback. So we actually didn't get many questions this week, but we did get some comments. So I'm going to start with a positive one. Somebody just laughed and said, "You have the best banter back and forth. You're so funny."
That was nice.
I thought it was so nice because people that don't surround themselves with us a lot, I guess, aren't used to it.
I think it's a twin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that we're a little bit more blunt.
We're more blunt. I would say I would
each other.
I would be so straightforward with just anybody, you know?
Yeah. Like, we treat our friends, like, really nice. But with each other, we're a little blunt. Like, I wouldn't tell my friend, like, "Oh my God, you're being a child." You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
depends on the friend, but yes.
I wouldn't, I don't think. I don't know. But I would tell Katie that. So I think that's just something special that twins have. But that's why I think it's really fun to debate with her because we don't hold back. The next comment, so I got my first negative comment. Yeah, that was interesting.
I think it's a good sign.
Katie thinks it's positive.
I think it's positive. I think negative is positive and positive is positive. I think they're all
Katie's
positive.
like, attention is attention.
And I also think that it says more about the person than it does about you. So I welcome the negativity.
So I do want to admit to everybody. So this negative comment came in like overnight. I had already had like a pretty stressful day. And at the time, I feel really embarrassed to admit this. I erased it.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, well, okay,
You a child.
in my mind, I was like, oh, negativity. Like, I just want love. Like, I want this podcast to be about sharing our embarrassing experiences that we've all had in like a safe space. And I don't think that this person understood.
What was it? What was the comment?
So,
Since none of us got to see it.
also, well, if you were online on TikTok in the middle of the night, you probably did see it. But the thing is, I didn't even necessarily disagree with her. That's the thing. That's why I was like, honestly, I think I read it wrong. But if I would have waited till morning, I might have just kept it and been like, "You're right. You're right, girl." She said, quote unquote, I think her name was Jess.
Thanks, Jess, for the feedback.
"You messy."
Yeah, we are.
I was like, honestly, like at first, like I said, I had kind of a bad day and I was just read it and I was like, delete.
I describe myself as a mess.
But then I thought about it in the morning and I was like, honestly, Jess, you're right. Like, especially she replied to a video of me talking about a past relationship. Girl, if you thought I was messy now, you should have seen me 10 years ago.
For sure.
So she wasn't wrong. Like, I agree.
The mess has calmed down.
But like it still exists. And the thing is, I want to promote that like this is being a human being. You know, like this is the fun of being a human being. Don't take life too seriously.
Yeah.
Honestly, because then you'll be miserable. So my heart honestly just goes out to her. I'm sorry I deleted your comment. Sally will accept it next time.
She's gonna leave the comments up. I've asked her to leave the comments up because
Yes.
I think it's honestly, like I said, all feedback is positive feedback because it's more conversation.
Yeah.
But you just created 2 minutes worth of conversation.
There you go. Yeah. And I do agree with you, Jess. And also, now we're going to be friends. No, she's like, no way, Jose. So anyway, okay. I used to be a teacher, so I have lots of weird speak. But anyway, that was one of the comments we got. And then Katie was like, well, I think that's a good sign.
I think it's great.
Yeah. Okay. So we're moving on to this mess. Oh my God. I want to tell them about the lamp I got you.
Okay. I wish I could show you, but I can't move my camera.
Can you move the lamp?
Oh. This is ridiculous.
It's really heavy.
It is heavy and it's I don't want to diss it because I think it,
No,
okay, this is the lamp, guys. You're watching. It's an antique lamp. It's
I have a cold, so I'm
Sally went to her whatever it was hotel that was getting rid of furniture.
It's
event.
not my hotel. It was a hotel in the area.
Yeah. So
Can I
again,
explain this?
yes, you may.
Okay, so my couch that we are currently sitting on is from my living room. It's not like the couch of our living room, it's like a love seat. But my kids really want it back. So I've been telling them, okay, mommy's going to find new furniture for the podcast. Well, I went to a hotel that was having a garage sale on Saturday. And
when we say hotel, we mean like inn.
it wasn't in. It was actually only
Think 1800s inn.
so it was a four bedroom inn in a town near us that is known to be very haunted. But the inn is so cute. And she said that it was definitely built in the 1800s, but there was a fire or a flood. I forget. They lost the records. So the newest records say I think it was built in like 1910, but like it probably is even older. Anyway, I went into the inn and it's gorgeous. They try to like uphold just the like look of the times. Anyway, I saw the lamp and I thought that needs to be a podcast lamp.
But you're never gonna see it. So now it's just sitting in my house, and I'm pretty sure it may. I'm afraid to say anything around it. Like this is for real
So-
for me because I'm afraid there's an entity connected to it.
Like have
and I
fun
don't want to anger
anytime.
them. Yes. So this is not.
This is ridiculous.
I don't care.
I feel it's positive. Although I will say before we started, we tried to turn it on and it sparked.
Okay, I tried to turn it on and it sparked and like the light fizzled out. Okay, so
We
that
just
was
need a new light bulb.
sure. Also, everything in this room was unplugged when I opened the
So-
door.
Oh, is that why you got mad at me when I asked?
Yes. Okay, because this lamp, I think
So-
I don't even want to say it out loud. I do not want to say it out loud.
No, okay, listen. Okay, first of all, when I came in today, we locked this room because we have 5 kids between us and we're like we don't want them touching things. So when I came in, I go, "Katie, why is everything in a different place? It's all unplugged." And she got mad at me.
I go, you were the last one in there.
And I was like, I didn't unplug anything though. And she like literally got mad at me and I was like, "What the heck?"
Okay, so
Okay, so
my
it's because
story-
she's afraid of the
my
lamp.
story. I am afraid of this lamp. I want it out of my house, but I don't want to say that because I don't want to get angry at me. So
It just wants to be acknowledged.
So I have to start from last night.
How many nights has the lamp been with you now? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 3.
Three.
3 nights.
3 nights. So that's a
Did
very
you notice anything the
very
first night?
bizarre coincidence because my son has slept in his own bed for 3 nights
Oh.
and
And that's not typical.
that's not typical. However, I've been laying down with him until he falls asleep and more than likely all the nights I've fallen asleep with him and then moved after in the middle of the night to my own bed. Anyways, last night I have felt a weird presence in the home. And it feels like, and I don't know if this is fear based because I'm making stuff up in my head. I've always been a very in tune child with entities or
Entities?
or
entity.
or fear based. I've always been very fear based when it
What
comes
makes something an entity rather than just a spirit?
because I think there's different kinds of spirits.
Is entity a different, like a
I
positive?
think they're one and the same.
Okay, entity just seems so like grandiose. Like it's just a spirit, probably.
I mean, I think they're the same thing.
Okay, entity makes it sound
Entity,
scary.
spirit, ghost, whatever the heck you want to call it.
Okay.
Something not of this visual realm. So
Although they can be very.
although they can, and I would freak the shit out if I saw something. So, okay, so last night I lay down with my son, and keep in mind, I live alone with my son. So I'm the protector here. And he's like startled. He lays
At
down.
what
and then
time?
I don't know, Sally.
Like in the middle of the night, he just woke up.
no, no, we're laying down to go to bed.
Oh, okay.
And it's like probably 9:30 because we went to bed late.
Okay.
Judgment, everybody.
What a bad mom.
Mom sucks.
No,
No,
okay,
it doesn't matter.
It's
Actually,
the eclipse.
yeah. Okay, so we lay down and he's like, startled out of it's like, what's that shadow? What's that shadow? And I was like, what shadow? And he's like,
Oh my
in the hallway over there. He's pointing.
Did you tell him about the lamp?
No.
Okay.
No. He's pointing outside of his doorway to the hallway, which is right next to this room where the lamp is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, do not say this right now because I don't want to have to look up because I'm so scared. And he's like grabbing me and like, Mom, what is that? What is that? And I was like, what does it look like? And
You didn't look still.
no. I was so scared. I was
Like, so you were just having him look, and then you had your head in a pillow.
I was like, what? No, I had my eyes closed. And I was like,
Oh my
I was
god.
like, what does it look like? He's like,
What if it's a human being?
Sally, I do not know because this is the problem with being a single parent. So then
If there was someone in your
Like,
hallway, did you want to come to your bed?
I have a security system.
Was it on?
Stop it, Sally.
Okay.
I have a security system. I have 2 large dogs that would have barked if somebody came into the house.
True, that's true.
I also have a baby gate at the top of the stairs that is impossible for me to get through. So I don't know how somebody coming in the house could get through it without me hearing them.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
true. That's true.
Okay. So he's startled. I finally open my eyes because he's shaking me, and this is now I'm concerned. So I'm like, turn on my phone flashlight first before to like shine it over there. And I'm like, oh, I think it's just the cat. I said it was Enid. I blamed Enid. And he's like, what? And then so I walk out into the hallway. Enid is not over on this side of the hallway. Enid is down the hallway in the laundry room. So there's no way Enid in the laundry room could have been casting a shadow over me. So then I was like, what if we just close the door? Okay. So we close the door, and then Enid is upset with us because we closed the door. So he's at the door, and I'm terrified to open the door because I think I'm going to see a little ghost girl.
Attached to a lamp, it's probably an adult.
So then, but I got up, I let Enid in, and then we're all laying in bed together. Anyways, then there's noises that my son is hearing that I do not hear. And he goes, what are those noises? And I was like,
Oh no.
what do they sound like? And he's like, I don't know. I just hear something. And I was like, why is this happening to me? I cannot handle this right now. So
She's so over dramatic.
I know it's terrifying. I'm so afraid of this.
But think how your little boy felt.
Seriously. I agree. That's why we sleep together. And I honestly, the whole time I was laying next to him, I was like, what would I have done if I didn't have him with me? I would have been. He was
So just so you know,
feel better.
Katie doesn't have him tonight, so we'll get a really good story after tonight.
So finally I open the door. I don't see anything again. I don't hear the noises that my son is hearing, but there was a light because the cat had come out of the laundry room door. He did leave it cracked open more than it was, so I could see there was a light coming from the laundry room. We have like a water fountain bowl for him that has a light in it, so I could see that light was definitely visible, but that wasn't the light. That wasn't the shadow. That wasn't causing the shadow before.
Okay.
So finally, we just go to bed hugging each other because I don't want to, and undercovers, both of us. We're
Oh
both
my God.
terrified. But the whole time, I'm like, I really want to Google spirits connected to lamps because if I was a spirit, the last thing I would want to connect to would be a fucking lamp. And I'm like, what is the reality behind this? Like, nobody's really attached to this lamp.
I don't know. I mean, did you find anything online?
No, because I didn't want to open my phone while he was sleeping.
Oh.
But anyways, I feel like I was in the bargaining
Maybe I should look
phase
this
of
up.
like figuring out what to do with this. But in the middle of the night, I did move back to my room, and because I wanted to spread out and actually sleep well, but I was so afraid, I slept with my bathroom light on.
Oh, okay. That's normal. No, I honestly though. So he just said he saw a shadow and he thought he heard noises.
Yeah.
Okay.
He saw the shadow twice.
Okay. Did you ask what the shadow felt like? Like a boy or a girl or a adult?
No, Sally. I was so scared. I did not want to hear what that shadow looked like.
Okay, well, then we're at square one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to remind you though, if there is a spirit attached to your lamp, you can probably just say, hi, please don't come in this room. We don't want to be scared. And maybe that's why they were in the hallway. Maybe they were respecting your boundaries.
I don't want to look out my door and see anything either.
Okay, so I have a story similar. But it didn't scare me the way it scared Katie. But
I don't think I'm that afraid of ghosts, but when I was in that scenario, when my child was
obviously you are.
seeing stuff, I was like, I can't handle this right now. It's terrified me.
Okay, so I want to say that I work in a very old location. So when I started, my boss asked me, "Are you comfortable with spirits coming home with you?" And I honestly was like really scared. But I've had weird things happen at my house too. So one night, so first of all, my middle child, Scott, he is afraid. He's like a scared, he's not a scaredy cat, but like we have monster spray, we have a salt lamp, we have a dream catcher, we have all the things for him to go to bed and not be scared of the monsters. He says that they're monsters. Okay, so anyway, he's just at that age. He's 4 and he gets scared of things. He also, I think, has like night terrors. Our oldest daughter, Katie's laughing because this is so Scott. Our oldest daughter doesn't flinch a wink, like doesn't even pay anything of mind. Nothing scares her.
She's so brave.
She's so brave. Honestly, she like is gonna love like scary things for Halloween. It's her favorite thing.
Yeah.
I could see her getting into like reliving around like Universal Halloween Horror Nights. This will be her jam.
Totally.
So anything, nothing scares her. And one night, after I did my monster spray, I was tucking my son into bed, and my daughter was with me. And my son says, "Mommy, I feel really scared. Can you do the monster spray?" So I'm doing the monster spray or whatever. Susie's with me, and she just starts staring out into the hallway. And she's like in a blank stare for like 10 seconds while I'm like putting him down. And I didn't say anything then because he's terrified of this kind of stuff. But when I walked her out of our room or his room and into her room to put her down, I was like, "Hey, baby, what were you looking at? I saw you staring." And she goes, "Oh, there was a boy and a girl." And I was like, okay. Where were they?" And she's like, "In the hallway. They were just saying hello." And I was like, "Oh, were they nice or?" And she's like, "Yeah, they were nice." And I was like, "How old were they?" And she's like, "My age." And she's 5. And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Do they have brown skin or do they have white skin?" Because she has brown skin. And she goes, "They looked really, really white." And I was like, "Okay." She explained what the girl was wearing. She explained what the boy was wearing. And she even threw out the name Virginia
Interest.
for the girl. And I will say, my kids, we just started talking to them because we've had some of these experiences in our house about like spirits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I was not like talking to them about this stuff. Honestly, I just started because Susie's been seeing things. So, anyway, she was not scared at all. They didn't enter the bedroom, they were in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, "No, they're really friendly and nice." So, anyway, I put her down and I was just kind of like, "Oh, okay," because I didn't feel anything. Like, I didn't feel like any spirit was around us or anything. I go to bed that night. And I was fine. Nothing happened. A couple nights later, my kids take baths in my bathtub because it's bigger and it's attached to my room. Well, they keep dolls in there and they keep like ones that like sing songs. Like we have specifically an Ariel doll who sings like A Whole New World. And she even like says like, "Hi, my name's Ariel." I think she says like, "Hi, friend." It's so funny. Also creepy to hear in the middle of the night. So it got to be like 3 o'clock in the morning one night, and all of a sudden, Ariel went off, and she was like, "Hi, friend," like blah blah blah. If anyone has this doll, you know exactly what she says, but it is creepy, and she even says a goodbye like a minute later. But anyway, she went off once, and then me and my husband are pretty light sleepers, and we both woke up and we're like, "That's weird. Like no one's in the bathroom."
Mm-hmm.
And then she went off like 4 more times. So then finally, Adam turns to me and he's like, "Sally, what the heck?" So he takes the doll downstairs and he just puts her downstairs in the living room. Well, we have 3 dogs and they're just going crazy because it keeps going off.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, my husband turns off the battery or takes out the batteries. Anyway, now she's restored. She's like, has the batteries back in her and whatever. But she hasn't gone off like that, like at all anymore.
Are they new batteries?
I think he put the exact same ones back in.
Because that would make a difference.
So no, I think he like literally took them out and put them back in. But the thing is in my mind, I was just like, did this little ghost friend, did they learn to like press her button or like make her like speak or something? Anyway, that was the only sign that I was like, maybe we do have something here. But like my daughter constantly, I mean, probably once a week, one of my kids say they see a ghost.
Right.
Which honestly, like I have done my research and it's like you're supposed to validate them.
Right. Because don't they say kids can see and connect more to spirit till the age of 8? Right.
I don't know what age though.
I think it's till the age of 8. Fact
Sorry
check
guys,
me
I
on
have a
that.
cold.
But Sally and I, if you can't tell already, we're big believers in ghosts. So, and we have a lot more stories that we just can't share.
Yeah.
So, but if you'd like to hear them one day, come hang out with us.
Yeah. But
we spent a lot of this podcast talking about this, I guess.
I know it's not really a debate.
Sorry.
It's not really a study.
It's not a study, but it is just something that
Is that all that happened?
I mean,
Katie, I think next time you just need to be like, you need to ask them questions. Like, be like, what do you see? Like,
I think it's so hard though, because like I said, it's just a little more scary when you're the only
You're
adult in the house.
we're gonna sage her house after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna go sage that house and
Yeah,
the lamp it can
the lamp can
the
be
spirit can move on.
saged as well.
It's a beautiful lamp. So maybe that's why the spirit attached to it.
Yeah, you can have it. You can take it to your house.
It doesn't match my facade.
It doesn't. Facade is exterior.
Oh, it doesn't match my what's the interior word?
Interior decor.
My decor.
I think that you should take it with you, and I also think that it does not match my interior decor.
It
either.
does. I'm gonna put it in mom and dad's new house.
I think that's a phenomenal suggestion.
Yeah. Only you do have to wonder, like maybe they were giving it away for a reason.
I said that when you went there. I said, "What do you think they're giving away? The haunted kind."
I can actually contact her and ask. I'll contact her and say, like, did you feel anything with this lamp?
Well, now that we have,
Because she even said when I bought it for her, I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a pretty lamp. How much is it? And she goes, well, one of my friends said you could sell these for like $200, but I'll give it to you for 10. And she's like, so if you don't like it, she's like, you can just put it on eBay.
oh my gosh, that is the weirdest thing to say. You can sell it for that much, but she's not selling it for that much.
Yeah, well, she's a nice lady.
$10. Dollar bill. Hey, what was our actual debate going to be? Because we have about 7 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. Well, it was just that it was the Roman Empire thing.
Oh, got it. We switched up our topic of discussion because
Only I guess we could
it got
still
too
debate
intense.
it. I guess we could still debate it, but like really quick.
Yeah, we can't get into it too.
Because Katie still is
greatly.
Katie is proving her point. So basically back like a year ago, there was a TikTok that went out and it was women asking men, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And men would all say like once a week, once a month, every day, like all these crazy answers that you were just like, that's insane. Like I've never really thought about it. Or I like think about it like maybe when I'm learning about it, you know?
Yeah, or when I'm watching it.
Or when I'm in Rome.
Yeah.
But never again. Anyway, there was another TikTok that followed up that Katie found
That we unfortunately can't credit the person.
because we don't. Yeah,
Don't
it was so
remember
long
who
ago.
it was.
But anyway, she said a woman's Roman Empire is that best friend breakup that you went through in your lifetime. Like that's something that women think about constantly, or if not constantly, at least. Sorry,
All the time.
I'm just like burping in the mic.
You are a mess.
I'm a mess.
She's a mess.
Jess was right.
How did you say it?
You messy.
You messy. Okay.
Okay. So
okay.
anyway, we're not going to get deep into it
Because we only have 5 minutes.
and yeah, and Katie's still recovering from hers. But basically, she said yes, she agrees. She thinks about
I think about friendship breakups all the time.
yeah, like it really saddens her still. And I unfortunately I don't know if I necessarily agree, but because I've never been through a breakup with a friend that was like talked about, like that you sat down and did a
Like a
breakup.
formal breakup.
Yeah, like I've grown apart from people, but I just feel like And 100%, like, there's some in specific, one in specific that does make me sad.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, as I've gotten older, I've just like understood that's just part of life because like we both went our different ways. Like we both, don't live near each other, stuff like that.
For sure.
So I haven't had like a breakup, but I would say like I probably think about it like a couple times a year. So she might not be wrong.
Yeah, I think that friendship breakups are so much. Okay, I don't know if this is accurate, but I think they're harder than romantic breakups, to be honest.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
you get into a romantic relationship, this sounds so pessimistic.
Oh God,
There's
say
an
it.
expectation that it might end, right? Like it's a
Oh,
romantic
true,
partnership.
true.
You think like maybe we'll work out, maybe we won't.
Yeah.
When you get into a friendship, you're like, this is gonna work out.
Yeah.
You never think about the maybe of it ending.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I think that also with men, when I date men or whoever you're dating, sometimes you'll get to a point where you can look at a red flag and be like, okay, it needs to end. With friends, I feel like you give them a lot more
Great.
flags. Yeah, like, and they give you a lot of grace too, because a lot of times I find that I just kind of like dismiss it with, oh, that's just how they are,
Mhm.
or stuff like that.
So, you know what? To keep it light and not talk about the breakup part of it, I thought this was really cool. So, in the show Working Moms, highly advise everybody watch it.
It's so funny.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But there's a friendship where they just realize they're not growing together and they're not making each other better people.
Yeah, they're
And
not making good choices with each other.
So they take a pause on their friendship. And I've done that too. And I think that's so mature. Like,
Yeah.
if even though you can love somebody and respect them and they can still mean the world to you, but if you're realizing like whenever we hang out, we just condone each other's bad behavior and we're not growing, I think it's totally acceptable to be like, we need to take a step back.
I think that's honestly a really loving thing to do because that's saying like we want this to work out eventually, or also when you're in a friendship and all of a sudden you guys are just triggering each other constantly, or it's like really one-sided. I feel like it's easy sometimes to be like, okay, this is done. Like, I don't like this. Or it's easy to not say anything.
Yeah.
I think a really respectful thing to come to is to say, hey, we're not in a good place together right now. Let's take a little pause. Because honestly, I was thinking about this too, because I was talking to Adam about this topic. And I was thinking, my husband, and I was just
Which
like,
you mention every episode.
yes. So he's going to come on this show one day. He's a man of few words. So
He'll be a great guest.
we'll just talk and we'll just have him in the middle and all he'll do is be like, yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's no point in inviting him. But so anyway, I was saying, honestly, for everybody's growth as a human being, as an individual, in a partnership someday, I honestly respect people more that like go through those friendship breakups.
Go through those friendship bracelets.
I was thinking Taylor Swift, I guess. Breakups, because that means you're still evolving as an individual. It's kind of alarming when people keep the same people around them all the time.
Yeah.
Because are you really growing to your fullest potential? That's what I'm like,
so
that's
that
actually,
I saw, and I think it was like, I can't quote the right podcast, but it might have been the Mean Girls podcast or something. But they posed that question. They're like, we know this is frowned upon to say, but if you've had the same friends for so long, and obviously there are friends that you have that are lifetime friends, but if it's like the same group of friends and there's never any like new people coming in or people leaving or whatever, there's no mixing up this situation. Are you growing?
yeah, because
I don't know. I don't want to say something like to be negative, but I do think that it's important to meet new people and to build new friendships.
I will say, like, every friendship, quote unquote, breakup, I've never had a friendship breakup because, like, I still contact people, but, like, every friendship that has, like, kind of run its course or, like, really gotten less of a, like, we communicate less, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't want to say falling out. It's just, like, it kind of, like, fizzled a little bit. I will say, I look at their life and I look at my life and I'm so proud of where they've gotten to. And I can appreciate that we both went our separate ways. And I want to say, even with breakups, I know you've had like pretty like severe breakups with friends. You can look at them and you say, oh my God, I'm so happy for them now.
Yeah.
The love is still there.
The love is there. It's like we just weren't good for each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you see them just thrive now, or you're just thriving now. And I feel like that's the one thing, like friendship breakups are different than like lover breakups in that way. Because I think like
Yeah.
when it's your lover and you see them thriving, like eventually get to a place where you're like, oh, thank God they're doing great. But at first you're like, oh my God, his girlfriend is prettier than me. Or, you know, like you're like mad about it. But like with friendship, I feel like I'm always happy for them.
I do think though it never stops hurting though, because you always have the fond memories, you know, and
Well, because you get like, what's the word?
nostalgic.
Yeah.
And I
It's like bittersweet. It's literally bittersweet. Yeah.
It's just like part of maturing that you understand that everybody's in. I think that's the thing, is as you get older, you understand how everybody has different stuff going on in their life, and you don't hold them to a standard maybe you did when you were younger. Everybody's like more accepting. We're more so low maintenance friends now. It's like when we see each other, we
Yeah.
see each other. But when you're younger, you have all these
in the 20s.
expectations. and I wish as a young person I could have just looked at it like, she's going through a lot right now, and I'm going through stuff that's entirely different.
Yeah.
And we're not going to see eye to eye, and we're not making each other better people,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
It's
But like
easier to do now.
it's easier. I will say, I think during your 20s, like during those years that everyone's getting married and stuff, I honestly, that was the time. Even when, like I said, I've never technically had like a breakup, but we've definitely fallen out. I don't know how to say that. How do you say that?
I think it's just you've moved on with your lives.
You've gone,
separately.
and you have like new friends and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but during my 20s, I really was sad about it. Like I almost, like you mourn it almost. Like you're like,
Totally.
I wish it was that way still. But now in my 30s, or 35, we're 35, I can say like, that was really hard, but honestly, I'm so happy we did go our separate ways at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Because that was really good for us individually. But during our 20s, I feel like Bridesmaids the movie does a perfect job of showing this character.
Totally.
Like when Kristen Wiig is like, oh Helen. Like,
yeah,
they're
they're jealous that they're moving on.
with
and-
their friends.
Totally.
I think that's why that movie was so well received, because
Relatable.
single friend group or friendship goes through that, where all of a sudden you're realizing like, oh my God, we are going our separate ways a little bit. Some new people are coming in. And like, I will say during your 20s, I probably thought about that friendship more than I do now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you don't have a family yet.
Well, and that's the thing, is even with my major friend breakup I had, we've since communicated very minimally, just to be like, oh, your family's beautiful, or
That is like a breakup.
yeah. So, and I think that it's just like, it's all love, because it was love. It was just, we were not making each other better people at that time.
And I honestly think it's a mature step to say like, you need to separate for a little bit, or separate for, and that's, they say like relationships are like a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I've had friendships that honestly like fizzle out, and I don't hear from people for years, and then they come back and they're like my best friend.
Oh,
You know what I mean? It's like, that's kind of the cool thing about life, is that even though somebody is out of your life for a little bit, sometimes people come back in, and that's really cool.
Oh, one of our best friends.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say too much, because again, we ran out of time basically. But remember when our best friend, she knows exactly who she is, ditched us because she joined the dance team?
Oh my Lord.
But she did come back.
She's going all the way back to high school.
This is a joke. She knows this is a joke, but I'm just saying that's an example of somebody. She came back around. We're best friends.
Lordy. Okay, well, that is, and it really, it was hurtful back in the day, but that was so long ago.
That's the only one we allowed back in, and that I can think of.
I know, but like some people, they come back in your life when you have kids, or like, when you're back in line.
Yeah. That's all I could think of.
Okay, so anyway,
we love you, by the way.
We're so lucky because twins last a lifetime. Oh my gosh, that would be so sad if it didn't.
What?
Like, if our relationship wasn't a lifetime, like, all of a sudden, like, I'm cutting you off.
Cutting you out. You're off. We came into this world together.
We gotta leave together.
We're gonna leave together.
Yeah. We're gonna be those old people in, like, wheelchairs holding hands, like, Katie, did you see that old man playing chess over
Oh,
there?
that would be great.
That'll be so
I can't wait.
Oh my god. I hope I go crazy before you do.
I have to go crazy first.
No, I can't.
I've already lost my memory, so I think I will go crazy first.
God.
I think I will.
I'm
And also because I have this ghost person in my house.
I'm
so
gonna-
it's
I'm
go
gonna make-
crazy.
All my children will take care of KK when she's old.
Or
They'll want to because she spoils them rotten right now. They'll be like, I'll live with KK and I'll change her diapers.
oh my god.
So anyway, okay, so you did agree that our Roman Empire, Roman Empire is the friendship breakup.
I believe that to be true for myself.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else I
Think about regularly.
think about like once in a while. Like I'd say like a couple months a year. How often do you think about it?
Probably like once every 6 months.
Oh, well, that's not that much.
This was a relationship that was over 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So that's our Roman Empire. I guess we both kind of agree. I don't know what else would be a woman's Roman Empire.
Maybe not over 10.
I mean,
Just about.
Taylor Swift. People think
I
about
think
her.
about all the time.
Yeah, I think
Taylor
about
Swift
her all
is
the
on
time.
my mind on a regular basis.
I know, all the time.
Multiple times a day.
I mean, I would say that might be my Roman Empire.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm not even like a fan how you are. But I mean, I'm constantly just in awe of her. So, but also I'm getting like, she's online a lot. So like, we just are reminded of her a lot. Okay. Lastly, we're just going to end. Do you have any advice for anybody going through a friendship breakup, or, do you have any ways of like, or should we go more along the route of like, do you have
I would
signals people can look for to know that it's time to end it?
no, because you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll just know.
If it's like draining you.
Yeah, if you're mentally drained whenever you hang out with them, if your conversations aren't really conversations anymore.
Or if you can't like speak freely about your like belief.
Or yeah, exactly. I think you'll just know, and it's okay to take a step back. I think I wouldn't fight it. You know, I think it's very mature to take a step back. I've had to do that recently, taking steps back, because I know you have to protect your space, protect your energy.
Yeah.
And not everybody's going to be in the same energy field as you, because we're all going through different things, and they'll come back around, or you'll come back around. But I think you just need to let it be and be mature as possible about it. And if you have a friend and maybe you or them is going through something, you can just say, I'm not in the right space for our relationship right now. So
If they're like
so-
impacting you negatively.
or you're
Because you want to be there for them if it's a
you're
bad-
impacting them negatively.
Okay.
I've been in depression
Mhm.
before, and I didn't want to rub off on people.
Yeah, but at the same time, like friends want to be there.
Right. I understand that perspective as
But
well.
that's
That's
different
so
than an
different.
unhealthy friendship.
Yeah. But I do think that the respect you have for a person where you can just say that, like, I'm not in the space to be able to handle this right now, or I don't think we're getting anywhere, or, like, right now it's not positive. I think just be mature and have that conversation. I do not advise not having the conversation, that's for sure, because then they're like, what the heck happened?
Okay, so I will say because I haven't experienced like a sit down breakup, but I will say when things seem to fizzle out, and if you're somebody that's like racking your brain, being like, did I do something wrong? Like, I don't know what happened. Give yourself like, I guess like I will say an advice from what helped me when I had to come to terms with this friendship isn't the same as it used to be. First of all, that's okay. Like, that doesn't mean it's bad just because it's different. So first of all, recognize that.
Yeah.
Second of all, you might have done nothing wrong. Like, literally,
It
life
probably has nothing to do
life
with
goes
you,
on.
right?
Yeah, that's my third point.
yeah.
Third of all, this is not because of you. Like, it might be, honestly, but if somebody is like, growing apart from you, don't blame yourself for it. This is life. Honestly. Like this happens to everybody. It's part of life. It's part of evolving, and I would argue to say it's a good sign you are evolving.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and I want to just reiterate, it has nothing to do with you, because even if that person doesn't like something about you, or they're like, she's too, I get this all the time, she's too much or whatever, you know, as long as you know yourself, and we're going back to the know yourself and love yourself, as long as you know yourself and love yourself, and you would not have acted differently because you're being true to who you are, then it really is it's their thing, you know, like you wouldn't
Yeah.
have done anything differently, you wouldn't have done anything differently. So just acceptance, you know, like wholehearted acceptance of what is and what will be.
Yeah. And you guys are going to grow better when you're not like surrounded by people that are triggering you, you know? So I want to leave it there today. I hope that we didn't tangent too much. Honestly, we talked about it for like an hour before this podcast, and Katie was still like going down.
It's heartbreaking. It's a
Yeah.
heartbreaking conversation. And
But it's funny because when you break up with like a significant other, you don't
Oh.
carry those emotions for the rest of your life.
I could laugh about all of my exes
Yes,
at
but
this
like
time.
but friendship breakups
It's-
are not funny.
It's
Yeah.
like the band-aid. It's nothing. The wound does not heal.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to close up our twin study today. Please rate, review, and subscribe. We love you guys. Feel free to send in suggestions on things to talk about. We love you guys.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hi, everyone. It's Sally. We're going to leave our story there for today and pick up next week on Twin Study After Dark. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, please rate, review, and subscribe. We'll meet again next week for more Twin Studies. Bye.